Thanks for clicking on the video. Hit us with a like on Facebook, a subscribe on YouTube, a follow on Instagram. You can find us at Homie and the Dude. That is at Homie and the Dude. Thanks again. Enjoy the video.
Let's talk about Jackie Chan. So there's 2 points, right? There's the initial young Vlad that saw Jackie Chan, saw the entertainment and just the awe and the amazing experience. And now there's Vlad that has a retrospective view of what went into him doing that. Talk to us a little bit about what makes Jackie Chan special.
I didn't realize how special Jackie Chan was until probably the 2000s when DVDs were coming around and these movies were more accessible to the general public. The reason I say this is because up until like the late 90s, the only Jackie Chan movies you really knew about were his old school low-A movies, which weren't really good. He introduced us to Rumble in the Bronx and who he was in the mid-90s. But the reason I say 2000s is because once I was able to go ahead and start attaining all these Hong Kong movies on DVD, on VHS, on Laserdisc, I was able to go ahead and study them. So seeing a different kind of Jackie Chan that I didn't know about. Like I met Jackie Chan when I was a little kid, meaning on the TV, through VHS. Yeah. And then that Jackie Chan was a lot of shapes, a lot of bouncing up and down. Then I met Jackie Chan again in 1995 when I saw Rumble in the Bronx. Yeah. So there was a good 15 to 20 years of me not knowing Jackie Chan, all that information. So again, once I got a DVD player and these DVDs started to slowly come out, I'm like, holy hell, like look at everything he's done. I didn't really know about all the prop fighting. You hear about things and it's like, oh yeah, I know Jackie Chan, I know Jackie Chan. But once you start watching movies that he's done, like in the 80s, like Wheels on Meals, his Project A series, his Operation Condor series, things that people don't really know about, you're like, oh man, like this guy put his heart and soul into everything that he did. And he was committed. And I think a lot of my craziness when I shoot comes from that, from Hong Kong cinema. Because Hong Kong cinema, for example, people like Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, they don't move on until they're happy. That's why fights like the finale fight in Drunken Master 2 took 4 months to make. That movie was originally released in 1994. That was a 1994 movie. I didn't see that movie until I'd say 2001, 2002, when I bought a Tai Seng VHS tape for $40. And I would watch that religiously. So for me, Jackie Chan movies are kind of like a Bible to me. It's always my go-to when I'm stuck somewhere. Like if I'm stuck in a creative, like if there's a creative conflict with choreography, I like to just sit down and watch old school Hong Kong movies or Hong Kong movies from the 80s, because that's a good reference point. For me, the Hong Kong cinema of the 80s is like ballet to dance. It's the classical form of dance. And I feel like everyone always reverts to Hong Kong cinema when they need to pull from something. Yeah. So again, me as a kid watching Jackie Chan, it's like, wow, this is fun. Me, I'd say in my late teens watching Jackie Chan, wow, okay, I'm trying to learn what he's doing. And now me in my mid-30s looking at Jackie Chan's work from the past, I'm like, he's a genius and he's brilliant. Yeah. There's nothing to it. You can say he helped pave the way to a lot of the action that you see today.
100%. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, realistically, when it comes down to it, and I'm not sure if you feel the same way that I do. So I grew up I had a couple of my formative years in America, but then I had a very similar upbringing, it sounds like, to you, in the fact that we moved to Spain, and it's a place where we didn't have like a DVD player, we didn't have anything. So when we finally did get a DVD player and we could go down to the movie store and get, like VHSs that my grandma would send or DVDs that we could get from the DVD store, my breadth of knowledge and understanding of movies suddenly became amazing because, and I just dove headfirst into wanting to find out about, martial arts, especially like fantasy stuff, a lot of then like Hong Kong theater and stuff like that, which came more in my teen years. Like I kind of saw what Hollywood did and was like, wow, this is amazing. Like lightsaber battles, kendo. Oh, wow. Kind of incredible. But then as I grew up and I realized that, you watch a Hollywood movie and like there's low contrast, people are pulling their punches like quite drastically, and you can almost see that it's false, the falsities in some of the action scenes. And I think what I then fell in love with as a teenager with Hong Kong cinema was the realness of it, the how crisp and clear every shot is. How in some cases, if they're going to show an impact, they're not only going to repeat the shot twice, but they're also going to show you a close-up of the foot hitting the dude in the chest and sending him backwards and dust pluming off of it. And it's like, that revolutionized things for me, and finding Asian cinema changed my whole life.
Hope you all enjoyed this pod clip. Hit us with the Holy Trinity. Go to our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, which is at Homie and the Dude. Like, follow, and subscribe to all of those. And thanks again, guys. Have an awesome day.